I'm Gary.
And this is Austin.
And we are Midwest Mics coming back at you from the Hy-Vee Arena Studios, live on UClick TV. Catch us on the U every week. You have any longboards this week, buddy?
I did not have any longboards this week. I'm missing out. I'm fiending right now. I drove by the one in Lee Summit when we were going to our buddy Joe's house over the weekend.
Yeah.
I almost stopped. I almost skipped the party. I almost skipped the pool party to go to longboards. So
I was kind of disappointed that Joe did not cater longboards for having us over.
I'm really disappointed he didn't cater longboards. And I know Joe listens to the show, and I want to tell him I'm disappointed in him.
Yeah. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more sad than I am angry with him. Yeah. So I wish he would have got longboards because literally –
I would have ate it all.
I would have ate all of it too. Me and you have been racing on that, so
yeah.
I wish I could have got some today.
Yeah, but we're doing the show a little later tonight, so the one here in the arena is already closed. Couldn't get some dinner.
No bueno. No, but you can always hop that counter and turn the grill on, and start cooking. No, Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but visit one of their 6 locations across the metro. Last week I tweeted out, my picture of longboards I picked up on the way home after the show. It was excellent. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. My father-in-law enjoyed it.
Shout out to the Longboards Twitter for picking up on that last week.
Yeah, they did. So, but we are joined right now by a very special guest, first-time guest on the show, Drew Steffen. He is a golf expert, big golf fan, an avid golfer. He's played literally almost every day this entire summer. And
nice.
So he's joining us on the show. He coaches with me at Shawnee Mission East. He's our special teams coordinator, and he coaches outside linebackers. So, Drew, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Looking forward to talking with you a little bit.
Yeah. First, let's, I've talked a little bit about our summer work here. We scrimmaged last Thursday. I felt a lot better after the scrimmage than I did going into it. Was that your idea, or were you a little more discouraged?
I would agree with that. I was a little nervous. We're young, graduated a lot of good players, a lot of guys that are playing at the next level. And so, I was a little nervous, but I tell you what, Blue Valley and Miege came in, and our young guys did an excellent job. I could not have been more excited after that, a couple hours. Scrimmaging with those guys.
I hear every year from Gary so far as that when the year kind of starts out and practice gets going, he's a little bit, I wouldn't say discouraged, but you're a little bit like, man, we got a lot of stuff to work on. And I always got to remind him, I'm like, you say the same thing every single year, and then by the time your scrimmage happens, you say, okay, I guess we're doing all right. Because I feel like a lot of the other teams, they're in the same boat as you guys. I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? They're trying to, we don't have any spring stuff here, so everybody's trying to get the rust off. So almost every single year, I think after the scrimmage, he's always kind of been like, okay, we got stuff we got to work on, but we're doing all right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any doubt. I think it's one of those things that, a lot of these kids that we got playing, play JV or play special teams, next man up, and they're going to do a good job for us. So I'm excited. I think one of the best things that we have at East is the coach that we have in my time there, we put our kids in situations to be successful. So, I think, that goes a long way with it. And then it's just like the type of kids and the culture we've established. Lucky to be a part of that.
Yeah, and, it was a lot of fun being out there, and, Blue Valley and Bishop Miege are two of the other top programs really in our area, and Bishop Miege, you can argue, is one of the top programs in the country. So, I felt like we went out there and our kids competed hard and did some good things. I mean, there were some mistakes, but you're always going to have that, I feel like, in the game of football. But our kids competed and played hard, and so I was very encouraged after the day and then watching the film, and I was not as down as I was going into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the beauties of it was we found some kids that may not start for us, game 1, game 2, game 3, but, they're going to have a big impact, whether they're a 2 going in or on special teams. And so I think that was the beauty of it. The kids are always going to be gone doing stuff. And so, I think that was one of the benefits for our program. We're just getting some kids in the mix that might not start, but going to have a huge impact. Hopefully will have a huge impact for us.
Yeah, I definitely think that some of those guys that got some very valuable reps against quality opponents that day that are not projected necessarily as starters like you said, but will be some valuable twos and some special teams guys that got to see varsity football happen in the middle of July.
And that's what that scrimmage is all about. Getting guys extra work, and the nice thing is that, like you said, you guys get to scrimmage against two really top tier programs in the Kansas City area. So that can only help you guys. Shout out to Coach Holmes, guest on the show last week. I'm sure it was good to see him out there.
Oh yeah, he was pretty fired up, doing his thing with Miege, and they're been on top. Now for obviously 5 years in 4A, and they play in the EKL, and we talked a lot about that last week. But
yep.
Drew, you've seen them a lot. Over the summers, we talked about scrimmaging them, and they're always doing good things over there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, there's a reason that they're so successful, and it all starts with Coach Holmes. We're lucky to get to know him and see what they do, and he's such a class guy.
Yeah.
It's exciting for our kids to get out and play on that same field. What's exciting about it is to have some of our kids get on film with some of their kids that are getting recruited at that D1 level. So, it's good for our kids to get that exposure and to see that type of talent. It just makes us better.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So we can go ahead and we'll move on to your expertise, which would be the golf world. We got the British Open coming up this week. The dates on that are was it 15?
18.
No, 18.
18th to the 21st.
Right. Why don't you talk about some of the top guys that people should kind of tune in for and kind of watch out for? We already know everybody's going to look for Tiger because and I don't know if he's the favorite going into this. I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at betting lines or anything like that. But we everyone's going for Tiger and everything, but everybody's going for Tiger. But yeah, who are some of the other guys we need to look for?
If I had to pick a favorite, what's really interesting about the British Open this year is it's in Northern Ireland for the first time since 68 years, and one of the best golfers in the world, Rory McIlroy, is from Northern Ireland. So I don't think there's any doubt that you could say he's a favorite. He won twice. He won the Players. There's no doubt he can go low. And it's at home. And so I think he's a favorite. I would say another favorite, and maybe this isn't a favorite because he always plays well in the majors, is Brooks Koepka. He's won 4 out of the last 6 majors. He's won PGA Open and PGA Championship. But the most interesting thing about him is his caddy actually worked as a caddy and as an assistant pro at the course they're playing. And so, Koepka played over in Europe to start his career. He's in America, but he started in Europe. And so, he has this connection to caddy. And so I think that's an interesting kind of side note that something you could take into effect. Like if you were, betting on it, I think that would be a huge kind of step up on the field. Is taking Koepka, not only because he plays one of the majors, but because he has someone that knows the course so well. And that's what it's all about, in the British Open over there. A lot of the Americans don't play that style. And so,
right.
Getting somebody that knows how to play that type of golf and again, that kind of gives you a step up on competition.
Well, Drew, this is Jim Bly. I'm a former golf pro, now producer of this Midwest Mike show. We're gonna have to have a little golf tournament, though. Tell me who you think was one of the older guys, other than Tiger, one of the older guys that might come through and be victorious there at the British Open. John Daly's out because he can't ride in a cart, right?
Yeah. If I had to pick somebody that was going to win, that would probably be that little older generation. He's never won a major, but I've always really liked Ian Poulter. He's claim to fame with the Ryder Cup. He's never won a major, so I think that he definitely has a chance. He played really well last week in the Scottish Open. I would say him, and then, or maybe not quite open, but Matt Kuchar. I think Matt Kuchar's going to have an excellent shot. He always plays well over there. So those are two guys I would say that are in there, maybe mid-40s. in kind of that Tiger Phil McKee era.
Right.
I don't think you can count Tiger out. Tiger doesn't have to driver there to be able to get two iron stinger.
I'm glad you
ball and play.
I'm glad you
So I
threw
think
Kuchar in there
people
because
will do that.
I'm glad you threw Kuchar in there because he is playing well and he's done some really good things over the last couple of years, and I think he's due too.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the guys that'd be great if they could get one. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned the caddy that's from over there, and just talk a little bit about. I mean, a lot of the average probably golf fan thinks, well, all the caddy does is carry the clubs, and I mean, I know that that's not the case, but talk a little bit more about the experience of the caddy and why that's important to have a guy with you that knows the course.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing over there is where they want to hit the ball to kind of set up that next shot. A lot of these American courses, you can kind of just hit it out in the fairway and you'll be fine. Over there, everything is, there's so much contour to the course. You got to have the right angles into the green. This course doesn't necessarily have the real big greens, but a lot of those courses, your greens are, the size of football fields. And so, making sure that you know exactly where to hit it. And then, kind of the unique thing to professional golf is they do not have, you can't use like the rangefinder. And so, you got to know yardages. You got to know, where to hit it with the wind, against the wind, and then, where to hit it so you're not in those pop bunkers. I mean, that's a huge thing on the golf courses over there. If you get out of play, I mean, you could take 2 or 3 strokes just to get it back in play. And, that right there costs you a tournament, especially over, 72 holes.
Yeah. What are there any big storylines with the golfers that have been paired up that you've been following? In any big groups where they've paired a couple guys that maybe don't play together a lot and could maybe have a little rivalry there?
I don't know necessarily from a pairing thing. I think the biggest thing with the British Open for a lot of Americans is kind of that pride and trying to win that. The Ryder Cup is one of my favorite events every other year. And so just kind of that rivalry against, the American players. And then, not just those players that play in the Ryder Cup from Europe, but all over the country. You got, Jason Day from Australia, Lou Stajan from down in South Africa. There's people from all over the world that are just excellent golfers. And so I just think it's kind of a pride thing. I wouldn't say necessarily any true rivalries right now. I think that's kind of changed. I think that's kind of like in everything. The NBA, I really feel like there's a lot of rivalries. Everyone kind of knows everybody and kind of just grew up playing the game together. So whether that's good or bad. So.
Yeah. So this tees off about 12:30 a.m. on Thursday our time. Tiger doesn't tee off till about 9:10. I mean, obviously the ratings factor is going to deal with that. They want Tiger to kind of get a better tee time so that people over here will watch.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I know that one of my favorite things to do if I don't get to watch Tiger is there's a guy on Twitter called Tiger Tractor that follows every shot, and it's almost as exciting.
Wow, yeah.
For me, golf's exciting to watch, but following it on Twitter is probably just as exciting. And so I'm looking forward to getting to watch him and follow him. He's one of those guys I grew up with, and so good and bad. It's kind of like an idol. You kind of just think that everything he does. Just so lucky to get him watch. You're so lucky to watch him play. There's that time where they didn't know if he'd play, and so I'm always pulling for him. He's not the favorite, but that's who I personally want to win.
Yeah, I think Tiger winning or Tiger playing well is just good for the game of golf in general. We saw that when he won when he just won the Masters.
Yep.
When he just won the Masters, and it's just good for golf in general. I mean, it gets back on ESPN, it gets back on on Fox, and everybody starts talking about it again, and everybody starts getting into it again. Tiger's really one of the ones that really kind of made golf as popular as it was for a while. And then when he kind of fell off, we had some kind of stars emerge. But I don't think anybody has the same draw that he does, just because he was so good, for that time. I think it is. Now, who's the golfer that got you into watching golf, or did you just love the game just from playing it?
I would say it's from playing it. I was lucky. My grandpa